It's not about the stats. It's about the heart, passion, and desire to win. Numbers lie, but the will to win tells the truth. And after Game 4, I guess, malalaman na natin, will Talk and Text have a commanding 3-1 advantage, or will the San Miguel Beer level it out at 2-all? That's right. Okay, balik na tayo dito sa ating panel number 1, Miko and Jason.
Salamat, panel number 2. Panel number 1 reporting. Pero yung ganda nung sinabi ni Tong Itz, no? Tong Itz, no? Si Tong Itz. Hindi masyadong mahilig sa sugar. Numbers lie, but the will to win. I can actually easily imagine Coach Ryan saying it to Mark Cardona. Numbers lie. Mark Cardona and Gabriel Espinas. Numbers lie, but the will to win tells the truth. But siyempre, they're highly applicable in this game. And let's try and connect that with the webpage. Now, click on the webpage to find out what these two teams have to do in order to win tonight, Jason.
Okay, nga na sinabi kanina, numbers lie. And when you look at the webpage, the first thing that we're going to talk about is energy from start to finish. Because you can talk about stats and all these numbers, but the one factor that cannot be measured is energy. And in every game in this series, the team that is able to that has been able to sustain their energy has been the one that has come up with a W. Next up, the point to success. Cabagnot, Artadi, Racela, Miranda, those are the guys for San Miguel. Alapag, Castro, and Reyes, these are the guys para sa Talk and Text. These are the point guards that should be able to lead their teams offensively in the execution and even start up with playing good defense. Next up is to knock down their shots. If you look at this series, the team that has shot well from the outside has won every game. Para sa Talk and Text, they need to hit from the outside so that San Miguel won't be sagging too much and won't be going to their zone. Para naman sa San Miguel, they have to hit their outside shot para lumaki yung depensa ng Talk and Text. Finally, share the wealth. Don't give it away. It's critical for both teams to be able to move that ball around and to not commit any turnovers. In the last two games, whoever had more assists and who also had less turnovers came out victors in the series.
Okay, we'll bring back panel number 2. Kami in panel number 2. Hindi si Coach Ryan kasi okay, we'll go back to Paolo and Ryan in a moment. And right now, we're going to meet. Makikilala na natin ang best player of the conference. Tama ba? Yes, I think yan ang ating gagawin in just a few moments. Right before we start business here, dito sa game number 4 of the PBA Philippine Cup Finals. You hear the buzzer, the crowd is ready, and we're about to start what could be the equalizer for San Miguel or for Talk and Text if they're able to regroup. If Ryan Reyes is absolutely ready to play this game, they have a good shot of going 3-1.
Good afternoon, PBA fans. Before we start Game 4 showdown between the San Miguel Beermen and the Talk and Text Texters, we shall have the awarding of the 2010-2011 PBA Philippine Cup Best Player of the Conference. And here are the candidates for the Best Player of the Conference. From the Alaska Aces, Joe DeVance. From the San Miguel Beermen, Jay Washington. From the San Miguel Beermen, Arwin Santos. From the Talk and Text Strobon Texters, RV Carey. And also from the Talk and Text Throwback Texters, LEP. And to award the winner, may we call in PBA Commissioner Attorney Chito Salud and PBA Chairman Mr. Rene Pardo. The 2010-2011 PBA Philippine Cup Best Player of the Conference, garnering 312 statistical points, 577 media votes, 54 votes from the players, 300 votes from Solar, and 150 votes from the PBA, for a total of 1,393 points. The best player of the Philippine Cup, from your San Miguel Beerman, Jay Washington. Congratulations, Jay.
Well, congratulations kay Jay Washington. Siya po ang napili na best player of the conference. Nanalo in that race for that coveted plum. Certainly highly deserving of the accolade. I mean, when you put up impressive stats for a loaded team, that is not an easy thing to do.
And especially what he did all throughout. He played an excellent elimination and played real well during the semifinals. Still waiting for that same best player of the conference, Jay Washington, to consistently perform here in the finals though.
Also standing by at courtside, mga nagbabantay sa dalawang kupunan. Let's start with Patricia Bermudez-Cizo.
We all know that Ryan Reyes' situation and the loss of his brother and how he missed Game 3 to attend the funeral. Now, when he arrived at 8 a.m. this morning upon touchdown, he told himself that what happened in the States stays in the States. Ryan Reyes says he's focused on these finals games and he's mentally prepared for battle. Physically, he is a bit drained and his legs are wobbly, but he was getting shots up before anyone else today, and he was on. He says Coach Trott knows he's ready. In fact, he's starting tonight so that Coach can gauge how ready he is. Ryan says he just wants to thank everyone for the support and prayers. He is dedicating the series to his brother. Miko, Jason?
Well, patuloy pa rin, no, na si Ryan trying to recover from the devastating loss of his younger brother, si Raymond Reyes. Titingnan natin talaga ano magiging status at contribution ni Ryan tonight. Let's go to Gino Rufino.
Thanks, Miko. According to San Miguel head coach Ato Agustin, the biggest difference between games 1 and 2 and games 3 was hunger. His players played game 3 with a lot of aggressiveness, intensity, and a high level of energy, which he hopes will continue here in game number 4. Coach Ato also applauded their defensive rotation in game 3, saying they finally figured out Talk and Text offense. For game 4, Coach Ato knows that the Talk and Texters will make adjustments. However, his biggest concern is still to slow down the backcourt of Talk and Text, especially Jimmy Alapag, Jason Castro, and the comebacking Ryan Reyes, who Coach Ato expects will be playing inspired basketball. Miko and Jason?
And this game is underway. Welcome to game number 4 of the PBA Philippine Cup Finals. Lamang po ang Talk and Text in the series, 2-1. But as Ato Agustin reminded everyone, the pressure now is on Talk and Text. Rafael De Ocampo, nice move at the post. That's a goaltending violation laban kay Jay Washington.
One of the things worth noting as well, Miko, is game number 3, gaya na sinabi ni Coach Ryan kanina, San Miguel had an emotional edge. Now that Ryan came back, would you say, or you can say siguro na ang Talk and Text ngayon, now they have an emotional edge because they have someone coming back with all that emotion being all fired up coming back for this game.
One way to find out is kung ano ang magiging takbo ng laro dito sa first half as Dillinger flies and misses. Ontiveros with a rebound. You know, one thing to note back in game number 3 was the pace of the game, Jason. Ang bilis ng pace Opening quarter, second quarter, it just went by like a blur.
And that's because of the good defense that was happening in that game. Good flow to that game.
Good challenge there by Dillinger. Now, Dillinger has actually been giving Arwin Santos fits in this series.
The reason he can do that, Miko, is because Jared Dillinger, almost the same size as Arwin Santos, and also, as you can say, very close athletically to Arwin.
Bola na kay Dillinger, hounded by Washington. Lots of time to shoot. Ranadel over Danny I. And the rebound ends up with Paul Artadi. So Paul Artadi and Daniel Defonso starting for San Miguel for the second straight game. Artadi gets away! And a tip-in is good for Daniel Defonso.
That's why Paul Artadi is in the game. You want him to push that basketball and at least try to make Talk and Text think that San Miguel is going to be pounding that ball forward.
Tabla tayo, 2 apiece. Bola na kay Dillinger. Shot clock down to 10. Ranidel pinasa kay Ryan Reyes for 3. My thinking is that Ryan does not have jet lag because he was only there for a couple of days. A spinner roll! Paul Artadi! And he celebrates.
Second time around, Talk and Text not really thinking that Paul Artadi is going to attack their defense. Paul Artadi doing the right thing right here. He sees it's a one-on-one situation, realizes he can break down Jimmy. Jimmy fouls in the last second. Paul Artadi gets another 2 points. So 4 quick points para kay Paul Artadi, looking for his 5th. But a warning, when the last 2 times that Paul Artadi went down, it was almost a 2-on-4 situation and a 1-on-3 situation. A couple of San Miguel players not going down on offense quick enough.
And still on Artadi, he had 6 points in the opening quarter of Game 3. I mean, that speaks about setting a tempo, setting a pace para dito sa Beermen.
At alam mo, bonus yun Miko. Because obviously for Paul Artadi, you want him to set the pace and the tempo defensively. If he gets those baskets, that means that at least hindi siya nagiging liability defensively. And I remember in that game, he was even hitting outside shots.
But Dillinger has been the active participant dito sa opening quarter. And his career has been very interesting. Pagpasok niya sa PBS, Arwin Santos gets called for a foul. Remember, kinuha kagad yan ni Coach Yeng Giao for the national team. And it speaks volumes about not just his potential, but currently what he can do for any team that he plays for, whether it's Talk and Text, whether it's for Chot Reyes or for the national head coach.
Potential and the athletic ability all there pag tinignan mo si Jared Dillinger. But the question is always going to be if or when he's going to be able to put it all together and be able to live up to those expectations.
Yung makikita mo yung hinog na laro pang PBA kumbaga. Meantime, bola na kay Ontiveros, swings it inside. Arwin, yun. I thought he was going to get away with a traveling violation. Parang nagkaroon siya, 720-degree turn.
Kasi si Spider-Man, di kaya yun. Diba?
That's a push. And there's the Artadi effect. At pakalawa na yan, laban kay Jimmy Alapag.
And again, that move of putting Paul Artadi as a starter paying dividends para kay Coach Ato Agustin. Jimmy Alapag forced to sit out because of personal foul problems with only 2.5 minutes gone by.
So obligado na si Coach Chot Reyes na ipasok si Jason Castro, who's hoping to have a bigger game, a better game dito sa game number 4. Unang personal foul laban kay Dillinger. Napakahirap naman talaga ng kanyang assignment dito sa ball game, trying to shadow Arwin Santos. Meantime, here's Artadi. Artadi and now Danny I against Ranadel de Ocampo. Shot clock down to 6. Danny I hand off. Artadi fires with so much confidence, but won't sink the shot. Meantime, here's Castro. First touch on the basketball. De Ocampo fires again. Misses it completely.
Shots of Talk and Text not close so far in this game.
We're still tied at 4 apiece. And a turnover here. Look at Castro. Castro steps on the gas. Ontiveros giving chase. Castro trying to be creative. No go. And there's a loose ball. Oh, wait a minute. A jump ball. A jump ball here between Artadi and Dillinger.
Going back to Jared Dillinger, you can say that maybe he hasn't lived up to his full potential yet. But in this game, the one thing that you can see after this